All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, divine honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and a sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth, that are pushing this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. It's the brother Balls off in the GMS Phoenix, Arizona camp. I want to speak on today in this lesson, something I was meditating on yesterday, riding home with my family, and I saw it just kind of hit my spirit. How I wanted to go into a lesson on how Jake don't really want as much money as they think they do, and how money can be, how money can lead a lot of our people to death, and it does. And you have examples of that people who have come into a lot of money, and that money has absolutely destroyed them, because the main thing is Jake don't have the kind of discipline to be able to handle something like that. There's not very many people in the world that have discipline, period. And when you don't have discipline and you come into a whole bunch of money, what that does is give you a license to dwell, to indulge carelessly in all of your wickedness and your bad habits. And the problem with that is most of the habits and shit that our people have, most of what they seek out is wickedness, and it's things that can destroy them, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's women, whether it's bad foods. Now Jake got this big pile of money that he can spend and indulge heavily in all of these things that are gonna destroy him. All right, so I'm gonna play a little bit of this video because you have situations where you'll hear about stories of people that win a lottery, and then next thing you know they died, or they died some unusual death, or somebody that's close to them then killed them trying to get hold of their money, or they spent all the money up and now they broke and homeless. Just horror stories. And this what Jake spends the majority of his time doing, trying to chase this money and these riches, instead of repenting and turning back to Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, taking heed to the word and the warnings that are going out from the prophets of the Lord. Directed at you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, trying to wake you back up to your true heritage, to your true powers, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. So let's play this clip, and then we'll grab a few precepts to close out, because Jake need to get his mind off of carnal things, fleshly things, and starts to feed his spirit. Jake need to feed that spirit and get prepared for the times that's coming, where all hell is going to break loose, because we're right at the door. All right, so I'm gonna play this clip again. It was something I was meditating on, man. Jake don't really need or want as much money as they think they do, man. All that is gonna do is put them in a position to destroy themselves.
10 stupid lottery winners. Willie Hurt, $3.1 million. In 1989, family man and well-respected citizen Willie Hurt won the jackpot in the Michigan lottery. Over the next 2 years, he burned through a large portion of his cash on a crack cocaine addiction. This led to his divorce, as well as losing custody of his children.
That's the first thing people do when they get their hands on a big-ass pile of money, is they go and run and indulge in their wicked-ass pleasures, man. All right? That's the first thing Jake do. And that's the first thing people do in general, man. That's the nature of being in these wicked ass bodies and in a wicked society. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go to 2 Timothy. All right, let me get 2 Timothy 3. So this is 2 Timothy 3. I'm just start at the top. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, Salakia, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High." And that's the point. All right. This is the generation that we're in. All right. This devil has pushed wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth, and our people are addicted to it. They actually prefer the pleasures of this world, this wicked ass world, more than they want the love and the pleasure that come with serving Yahweh Shem and Hawashai. Ultimately, the reward that comes at the end of it. You know, this is the generation we're in, that wicked generation, man. It's not going to pass until all be fulfilled, until all the prophecies come to pass. This is it. Okay. So let's get back into the video. First thing this dude did was go ahead and buy. He went out there and bought a whole bunch of coke, you know, and got coked out, man, because he got to afford endless amounts of coke, man, so he could indulge in any pleasure that he had in mind. And that's what a lot of our people are chasing, man, which is going to absolutely destroy him.
The divorce cost him the majority of what was left of his money. Once broke, Mr. Hurt was convicted of murdering his girlfriend during an alcohol and drug binge. Jose Antonio Quantock, $750,000. Jose had been staying in the U.S. illegally when he won a lottery in Georgia. He asked his boss, Eric Cervantes, to claim the money for him. Mr. Cervantes claimed the money for himself, and as a result, Mr. Quantock took his employer to court. In the end, after many legal issues, the majority of the money was spent on attorney fees and punitive charges. Evelyn Adams, $5.4 million. This lucky New Jersey lady won the lottery twice over the course of 2 years for a grand total of $5.4 million. Perhaps feeling high on her luck, she decided to take her winnings to the casinos in Atlantic City. To say the least, her luck did not hold up as she gambled most of it away and now resides in a trailer park. Vivian Nicholson, 152,319 pounds. When Vivian's husband won a lottery football pool in 1961, she decided to take liberty to spend. Vivian became detached from friends and family while spending her husband's winning on haute couture. After her husband was killed in a car accident, Vivian spiraled even further down the spending spree hole. In the end, she became penniless and completely removed from her family and friends. Callie Rogers, 1.9 million pounds. In 2003, 16-year-old Callie Rogers won the UK's lottery. Her youthful age may have played a part in her money-managing skills. Callie went under much cosmetic surgery, bought a bunch of houses, and went on luxury vacations. But in the end, she moved back in with her mother along with her 2 kids from a deadbeat boyfriend. William Post, $16 million. Within 3 months of receiving his first annual payment, William was already $500,000 in debt after buying a restaurant and an airplane. Family members crawled out of the woodwork to get a piece of the winnings, including an ex-girlfriend who sued him for a share and won. Even his brother hired a hitman to kill William in an attempt to inherit the money but failed. Within a year, Mr. Post was $1 million in debt and spent some time in jail after taking a shot at a bill collector. Denise Rossi, $1.3 million. When Denise Rossi won the California Lotto, she decided to leave her husband and keep the winnings for herself. 2 years later, the ex-husband learned of her reason for leaving him and decided to sue Denise for not disclosing her winnings in the divorce. In the end, the judge awarded him with 100% of the winnings and left Denise broke. Amanda Clayton, $1 million. Amanda Clayton was known to her neighbors as...
The point, man. And there's you know, if you type this in the YouTube, there's a whole bunch of videos about it, man. Different stories. People who gain and then just turn around and lost from just silly shit, man. Whole lot of horror stories, man. People dying, You know, people indulging to the point where they OD on their drugs and their vices, their pills, their alcoholism, all kinds of shit, man. Like I said, you heard the stories where family members are saying hitmen to try to kill you, man, to inherit your money. So you bring a whole bunch of hell into your life, man. And this is what Jake feels that they need in order to be happy, you know, in his life. This is Matthew 16:26. It says, For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for a soul? All right. So at the end of the day, was that money really worth it? You know, did that money change your life in any positive way? What did you gain? You know, now I'm sure there are people out there that'll win this money and they'll turn it into a business. They'll invest it the right way. They'll do the right things with it. But that's probably rare because of temptation. All right. Because the temptation creeps in when you step into that kind of money. And a lot of people can't deal with that temptation because they don't have the type of discipline it takes to deal with something like that. That's why Yahweh Shai, first and foremost, let me grab this. It says Matthew 26:41. It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right. The flesh is weak. So when you come up on all this money, and we've completely done away with the cares of this world when you step into this truth, you know, but there are still those of us who are waking up to the fact that we're Israelites. So when you come into this truth, and let's say you stepped into a bunch of money, even before you came into this truth, you chasing the bag, all right? You step into a bunch of money, then what you've done is you just magnified temptation into your life. You just magnified temptation in your world. And you don't even have the spiritual discipline, the spiritual backbone or knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to fight it. You don't have that connection yet established with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, to pray, to fend off that temptation, man. So you keep your eye on the prize, which is the kingdom of heaven, you know, where you're going to have riches beyond belief. But for those that are chasing it now and don't see the benefit in serving the Lord and feeding the spirit instead of the flesh, you know, you have to see the value in feeding the spirit. You have to see the value in serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and that righteous reward that's coming to the elect at the end of this battle. Because this is too much temptation and bullshit in this world, man, for you to be having all that money and think you're going to live a righteous life. What did Yahweh Shai say? Matthew 19 and 24. It says, I'm going to start at verse 23. It says, Then said Yahweh Shai unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. All right. Why? Because you can't serve two masters. All right. Because, you know, wherever your mind is, wherever the pleasure is, or wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is going to be, man. And those people who have a pocket full of money, where you can go out there in the world, you can buy houses, you can travel, you know, you can indulge in all of your vices. There's nothing you really can't do. You're not going to have time to even stop to think about salvation or your spirit or the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. There's too much out here in this world for you to be able to do and indulge in. And Jake really feel like they need this money. They don't even realize that the fact after you get it, now you're in a position where you can absolutely destroy yourself. You ain't gonna have nothing around you but a bunch of yes men. Everybody gonna agree with everything you say, everything you do, because they just want to be along for the ride. They want to be close to you so they can help you spend some of that money, seeing what they can get out of the situation. So nobody is gonna rebuke you like the men of the Lord. We rebuke one another, man, when we see, one of our brothers going off. To keep you in check, to keep you on that straight and narrow. But the people around you, when you got all that money, you see it with these NFL, players, these NBA players, professional athletes, musicians, rappers. They had a entourage around them. They just surrounded around a bunch of yes men. They want to ride the wave. So nobody's gonna put you in check, man, when you drinking lean all day, popping pills, doing drugs, and absolutely destroying yourself to the point where you 1 foot in the grave. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing, man. So, Jake, do you really think you really don't need all the money you think you need? Because all you're doing is feeding the flesh. Galatians 5:16, it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. All right. So the spirit and the flesh are at war. They're contrary one to the other. So you either gonna serve your spirit, you're gonna feed your spirit, or you're gonna serve the flesh. And you better believe serving the flesh, man, is gonna lead to death. But serving the spirit is gonna lead to life. Life everlasting through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Jake, you don't really need as much money as you think you need, man. You don't really want as much money as you think you want. You don't want to open up that window of temptation without discipline, and you absolutely destroy yourself. Millions of stories, thousands, I'll say, of stories like this, man, that are out there. People absolutely destroying themselves, man. It's time to prioritize the spirit over the flesh. Till next time, shalom.